Hello, Internet. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Internet. Matt Haas here. I am once again doing a channel takeover of Brian's The Summers Woodworking Show channel. He left me the codes, and I scribbled them down on a Post-it note and stuck them to my monitor, and he hasn't changed his password. So, channel takeover again. Well, I am from the YouTube channel Awesome Wood Things, awesomewoodthings.com, and we have an awesome panel here, and we're going to be talking about Reddit. However, before we do, let's have everyone say hello, say who they are, and say who their channel is. Real quick, we'll blow through it. I'll call you out. 15 seconds or less. Chet, you're up.
I'm Chet. I'm the guy with Inspired Woodworks. I'm up here in Wisconsin. Next.
Awesome. Donald?
I'm Donald. My YouTube channel is Donald Vlogifies Wood Shop. Website redneckknowhow.com, and all my Instagram stuff be found on my YouTube channel.
Excellent. Mitch?
Hi guys, my name's Mitch. I'm from MitchMakes.com. That will take you straight to my YouTube channel.
Nice. Russ?
I'm Russ Clarity. You can find me under Simply Wooden Creations on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just type in Simply Wooden Creations and you will find me, and also simplywoodencreations.com.
Great. Great. Thank you, Russ. Jimmy?
Yeah, my name is James Jacob, and I can be found at YouTube at Shogun Jimmy. That's pretty much it.
Fabulous. All right. Well, the topic is Reddit. Now, this is it's kind of hard to describe what Reddit is. It's a platform with user-generated content, which is links to stuff somewhere else on the internet. And as things get the up or down arrow on Reddit, the good content floats to the top. So it's social news in a way you can kind of think of. And it has one thing that's different when you compare it to something like Google Plus or Facebook. And that is the users can be anonymous, so they can hide their identity. And when they do that, it's just human nature to not behave so well sometimes, because you have this shield of anonymous in front of you. But just like every space on the web, it's a reflection of society. And just as you can walk down the street and meet 20 super nice people, the 21st person could be, maybe not so nice. And also, Reddit is compartmentalized in that it's a series of what they call subreddits. So there's many, many different sites within Reddit, all controlled by different mods, the moderators, mods for short. And some do a good job of keeping the conversation appropriate, and some don't. And it has generally been, to someone who may not be familiar with Reddit, that's kind of a place I might not want to be. But that's not the case in every situation. And in fact, there's a lot of really cool things on Reddit. Basically, whatever you're into, it's on that platform. And it's a good way to, again, have an article get social value and voted up and more visible to those who are interacting on these little individual sites. They're called subreddits. And, well, someone in the maker community had an idea to create their own around the maker community, and that's what it's called. So there's a subreddit called Maker Community, and then we have this little R thing up here. But so if you go to Reddit and you type that in after .com, you will land on a subreddit all about the maker community. And this this super evil genius that came up with this is Ryan Bitters from the Waylight Creation channel. And Ryan has a sore throat. He's in the chat, so chat room, say hello to Ryan in the chat. And if there are questions in the chat about this platform or about the maker community, Ryan will be glad to answer any questions. So what are we doing here in the maker community? Well, think of it as a space for content creators, mostly YouTube content creators, but if you're making something in your shop out of any material, you could post your videos and your content on Reddit, and then there can be a two-way conversation between you and the public that's interacting with those individual posts. And it's really, really cool. And the even cooler thing about Reddit is if enough people really find your stuff interesting, again, it'll rise to the top. And if it gets a lot of attention, it can send a lot of traffic back to the source, particularly your YouTube channel. And that's really what we're going to try and talk about here today, is this new subreddit and how it works, and what we've seen in the short amount of time that we've been playing along. And what I'd like to do is kind of go around the panelists and kind of get your initial feedback about the platform itself and what you think about it. And then we'll circle back and we'll go a little bit more into detail about the maker community. Also, we have another panelist joining us. Howie, I don't know if you're ready to rock, but if you are, why don't you start out by telling us who you are, what your channel is, and how people can find you. And then if you want to go into Howie sharing a little bit about what your initial thoughts about Reddit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my name is Howie. I have a YouTube channel called July with Fits Workshop. And I also have Instagram, July with Fits. And I do post on Reddit. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get some good feedback. Like I tried to post a few times on Woodworking,
Right.
And they're pretty harsh, especially if you're not like a fine woodworker. But I found a lot of good feedback on I think it's Make Something or and then DIY. Those are good subreddits to post in.
Got it. Before we go too much further, you know your video feed is a solid black.
Oh no, I clicked on the turn camera on.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me figure that out, I guess. All right, well, come back to me and I'll figure that out.
We'll circle back around. Okay, let's go through the panelists and just give your thoughts about Reddit in general. And if you're new to Reddit, and some of the panelists are not new to Reddit, and some of the panelists are mods for maker community. So Chet, what do you know about the platform and what's your exposure to it?
Well, for me, I'm very, very new to Reddit. Actually, just like Tuesday was my first time ever going there and checking anything out. It seemed exceptionally confusing on the initial round, and I found out it's very much a rabbit hole. You can find a lot of knowledge in there. You just have to find a place to look. I did see a lot of posts about watching out for trolls and that type of stuff. It looks like a great place to learn from. Definitely, you can link to it, like you said. One of the big things, I was listening to the Jimmy DiResta podcast, and I know he had said he had gotten hacked. And I kind of wonder how that would pan out, you know, who would moderate that on the Reddit side of things. It was one of the big things that jumped out at me. It was like, it's an extra site. Who's going to cover that? But aside from that, great platform, I think.
Yeah, there are some complexities. We'll jump into that for sure. All right. Donald, tell us what you know about Reddit.
Not a lot.
Okay, next person. No, I'm just kidding.
I've been in there a few times, and what few times I started trying to dig into it, it got confusing, and I got frustrated with it. I tried, when I posted a video, going to the little button below my video on my channel and going there and trying to post through that form. I had a few problems there getting things to go on through. It either didn't match up to the thing that I thought it matched up to. That's about the extent of what I know about Reddit. Not a whole lot.
Okay. Well, listen. Hey, if questions come to mind as the panelists go through, Donald, give a shout, because I don't think it'll be a good show topic. Howie, it looks like you're coming through.
I'm back. Sorry, I had my camera settings a little off, so.
No worries. So your initial thoughts on Reddit? You're pretty active on Reddit. So what did you first think of it? And now that you've been on it, kind of what do you think of it as a tool?
Well, I first got on there to compete with my wife for karma points because she's real into Reddit. And then I just so happened to have a lot of points only because I posted something and then forgot about it for like 6 months and then came back and there was a huge thread. So it was pretty funny. Everyone was like, I made this drawing where I drew a picture of my right hand with my right hand, drew a picture of my left hand with my left hand, and then with my feet as well. I drew a picture with my feet. So it was really goofy. And then I totally forgot about it, forgot my username, password, and then came back to it a few months later. And then I had all these points, and I was like, well, okay. Yeah, and same with woodworking. I made a pallet wood dresser, and I was like, oh, I'll post this in our woodworking. And they tore me up in there because, you know, it's pallet wood, and they're fine woodworkers, and told me I was going to die and everything like that. So I got all my karma points from negative comments.
Wow.
So that's one way of doing things.
That's funny. Yes. Each subreddit has its own guidelines, and we'll be talking more about that for sure. And yeah, it's just human nature to go to some place on the internet and just jump in. But on this particular website, on Reddit, you know,
it's definitely a different beast.
Yeah. That's part of the fun, though, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll circle back around. All right, Mitch, what are your initial thoughts on the platform?
You know, originally I've always kind of discouraged the idea of Reddit. And maybe it's because that's what I hear other people talk about. Eventually, you know, with the R Maker community, I went ahead and tried it out. It's not bad. The layout's weird to me. I guess it's more like a forum, which I don't do a lot of forum stuff, but over the last few days, I guess I've kind of learned to navigate, so to speak. And I still have more questions than answers to the whole Reddit thing. But Reddit's not bad. I didn't really jump into other topics on Reddit other than the maker community. The few that I did try to get into were that unposted or they'd already expired and you couldn't comment or join. So I do have a lot to learn, but I do really kind of see how it could definitely benefit someone who's maybe new to their stuff with Reddit instead of another page like Instructables or something. I see potential. It just understanding how to do that is the process that we go through, I guess, right?
That's absolutely it. And it is very much like a forum. So if forums have, you know, people posting something and then everyone chatting inside that topic that's posting. And that is a big part of what Reddit is. A forum on steroids. And it's not attached to a company, so it's not like tech support for this hardware company. It's for the web, for the internet. So yeah, cool. All right, Russ, what are your initial thoughts on the platform itself?
Well, I kind of see Reddit as like visiting a foreign country. You don't speak the language. The customs that they are around are odd, and you have no hell of a clue as to what's going on when you first visit there. So, that's the way I look at it when you're first getting on there. It's like really weird. But there's a lot to it as far as, but I mean, people, it's not only about one little tiny aspect. People can post anything and everything that they see or they want to see, or even their own stuff or text or whatever throughout the internet there. It's not like you have your own YouTube channel and you're posting your videos. It's Katie bar the door. You can post anything you want to there. So and I've been on it. I have looked at it. I've heard a lot of tales, just like we heard tonight, about a lot of people saying that they posted into the different sites and they weren't welcome, so to speak. They got really bad reviews or whatever. And so that's kind of like kept me at bay. So I just keep going back and trying to learn my way around about the voting system and how, I think it's called karma, isn't it? How you vote in there.
Yeah, karma's sort of the gamification of the whole thing. So you can.
And then you have the subreddits, which are all different. Think of it as you walk into a room and there's like millions of doors and you choose a door to walk through. And you're going into another room and all those other people are in the other room for you to talk to. But behind that door, it may say, oh, look at the cute kittens. But you get in there and wow, there's a lot more than cute kittens in there. So it's kind of I think it could be useful. I haven't really used it that much. I've got an account. I've had an account for several months. I posted a few things. I think one of the things I posted the other day was a link to my website in the maker community that you talked about. I posted that in there. And I think it can be used for us, but what it's going to take for it to be a little bit more useful is just like, what'd you say his name was that created the maker community?
Oh, Ryan Bitters.
Yeah, just like Ryan created that subreddit in there for the makers, is for us to have our own little place to go in. So, I mean, other people can come in there and hammer you, don't get me wrong. You're not safe from the world, so to speak. Anybody can walk in and say anything they want to. It's just up to the moderators where they leave it or not. And it can be constructive or very deconstructive at that point. But I think that now that page is opened up, it might be a little bit easier for some of the makers or woodworkers or YouTubers to be able to expand in there and maybe get a little foothold better than what they would have just trying to go into these other subreddits, so to speak, and trying to post in there. Because I get the feeling, and I've seen the feeling, that a lot of times you're not welcome.
Wow.
Might not be true, but that's just kind of the feeling I get.
Along those lines, there are moderators, and the next one on our panel, James, Shogun Jimmy, is a moderator. So he will keep you safe. So Jimmy, what are your thoughts on the platform?
Actually, I really like Reddit. It is a deep, dark hole, and it can be that. But like you said earlier, Reddit actually reflects yourself in a sense, because you have Reddit, which is the entire site, and it has like a front page. And that front page is fed off of all your subreddits. So the way we're using Reddit right now is that we're driving everyone to the maker community thing. But overall, if you start opening yourself up to the other subreddits and you go in there and modify your subreddits list, your front page will become really customized to what you want to see. Cars and hot rods, really nice motorcycles, bands you like. once you filter out all of your subreddits to specifically what you like to see, on that front page, you're just going to see like page after page after page of everything that you want to see in the world. TV show listings, jokes and comments. I would suggest the Reddit Wow Dude. They do some amazing stuff. Reaction GIFs, chemical reaction GIFs, a lot of the crazy science Reddits. I mean, you just sit there and just be amazed all day long as you get it set up for what you want to see. And there's millions of people on there.
And it is, by every sense of the word, infinite. You just when you visit a link, it'll go from blue to purple. Not a drastic visual change, but enough. And I've seen people talking about Reddit. They're like, I went on vacation, I came back, and there's blue links everywhere, meaning that they hadn't seen the same. It was all new stuff. So yeah, that's nuts. Cool.
Yeah, I equivalent it back to, like I said, it's like walking into a place where there's millions, or I said thousands, but could be even millions of doors, and you just choose which one you want to walk through and experiment or check out.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about one of those doors. So on Maker Community, which is the subreddit, let's talk about what kind of stuff you can post. I hinted at this, but I'll go into a little bit more detail. So it's stuff from your workbench. So if you have a shop and you're making stuff in your shop out of any material, you know, wood, metal, acrylic, milliput, whether you're a turner, you're a table saw, a CNC, it doesn't matter. You can post all of your stuff up there. So the big ones are project video and project article. So if you wrote an article or you have a video and you're on the Maker Community subreddit, you can post those stuff up there, and you could put that flair on there as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about flair, and that's just a nice color-coded way to scan down the screen and see what it is you want to look to, what you want to look for. But you know, what else can you do and what can't you do? On this subreddit, on Maker Community, we don't want sales stuff. So if it's buy my stuff, or you know, that we don't want that, and we don't want people rapid fire posting. It's great that you want to contribute, but this is the worldwide internet we're dealing with, and sometimes when nefarious things happen, it's people rapid fire posting stuff, and then they clog up the whole page and they push all the good stuff down because they've put, you know, 10 links to garbage on there. So there's some limitations on how often you can post. We've kept it pretty loose. And again, if you get nasty, we'll sick the mods on you. And Jimmy is a mod, and I am also a mod. Brian Bitters, who created it from the Waylight Creations channel, he's obviously a mod. And Eloy Escojedo, he's also a mod from Escojedo Woodworking. So it's us four trying to keep that place nice and clean. And
we've already done a pretty good job, actually, because we already pulled someone off for advertising that had nothing really related to what we were thinking about, and something else I forget.
Yeah. You know, people will take advantage.
We've been tracking freebooters on that too.
Excellent.
So
yeah, once your community gets big enough, you can do some crazy things. When, well, you can do a lot of good when bad things go wrong. We'll leave it at that. So that's really it. So go ahead, Donald.
I'm gonna have to check that one out, because I don't believe I found that one when I've been over there. Usually, like I said, you find one. Most of what I do is videos, and a lot of them. I found one day I was in there, and most of the places I went into, they only wanted articles. And it's like, I'm wasting my time here. I do an article once every blue moon on my website.
Yeah.
As far as woodworking goes, so I have to check that one out.
See, this actually sounds like it would be a good fit for you, Donald, because it's a very broad, subreddit. We want articles, we want links, we want your own stuff, and we want stuff that you present from other makers as well. Again, depending on which subreddit you fall into, they may only want your own stuff. And then people got tired of being banned, so they made their own subreddit called Today I Made or something like that. And that's only stuff you made. But not this. Maker community, it's if it's valuable to the community, put it on there. And it's open to the public. Anyone can jump on. In the page where this live show is, we have a link in the description to take you to the subreddit. So go ahead and click it and have fun. And like any good thing on the internet, it's how much you participate. If you're just a drive-by, lurker, you're not going to get the same experience. If you see something you like, give it a thumbs up or an upvote. If you don't, give it a downvote. And if it's really cool, jump in the conversation. Talk to the author, the creator of the video who posted it. Or if it's a shout out to someone, to talk about the content. It's really a cool conversation. And before I jump off, so I turned on a new tool in my YouTube, the creator studio called vidIQ. I don't want to go in too much to vidIQ, but what it attempts to do, one of the things it attempts to do is see where your stuff is on the web and kind of tell you, oh, hey, did you know, your stuff, you're getting links from Facebook and you're getting traffic from this source and that source. And one of my videos, I saw Reddit and it didn't have a 0 on it. I'm like, oh, so I followed this link over to Reddit and I found one of my videos. It wasn't freebooted. They linked to my YouTube channel appropriately, which, yay, I like that. And there was a whole conversation about my video. So they were talking about, oh, Matt did this, and what kind of in-feed, out-feed table did he use? What was that material? Oh, is that a good thing to do? I didn't do that on mine. I've seen some people do it. And there was all this back and forth about my content. And up until that point, I had no idea. So, I mean, ask yourself, like, if you went into a restaurant and the person sitting behind you just started talking about your stuff, didn't know you were there, you'd probably turn around and say, oh, hey, that's me you're talking about. I'm glad you like my stuff. It's kind of the same thing over here on Reddit. Your stuff could be there. And why wouldn't you want to join that conversation? It's an opportunity to connect with one of your fans, with someone who likes your stuff. So if you just play in one platform, probably not the best strategy for you. And, Reddit can really help with that. So whatever you got, it's probably going to be okay. I mean, now if you're in construction and you put up some drywall, technically you're making, but that's kind of not what we're after. You could, someone who owns a nail salon could make a design on a fingernail. That's kind of not what we're after either. It's shop stuff. You have tools and you're in a shop and you're making something and it's awesome. Share it.
It's a great platform to share all your stuff. You just get tons of views from it too. Like, even if the comments are negative or positive, you're still getting those YouTube views, which is kind of the point, I guess.
Awesome. Yeah, Howard, can you talk a little bit more about that? Because the holy grail of this whole effort is for something just to blow up and give you all kinds of trouble. Like, what? Speak to that, and like, is there a formula to make that happen, or is it just posting good stuff? Like, what are your thoughts there?
Oh man, I wish there was a formula, but I guess it's, if you think it's awesome, post it, and then a bunch of people will think it's awesome too, or a bunch of people will hate it, but they're getting a conversation going about your stuff. And as long as you link it to, YouTube or Imgur or whatever, you're still getting those views, and that's what's driving up your AdSense, And also Reddit is great because I think it's since it's worldwide, you know, and other people are sharing it in different subreddits, you know, that you might not know about, that could be bigger than the one you posted in, you know, it's just gonna expand that way, and everything, you know, just comes back to you, to your views. So it's a great way to kind of like spider web your way out into the universe. You know, Reddit's huge.
That's cool. Do you usually post to just one space, or do you kind of shotgun post to 3 or 4 at a time? You know, how does that typically work?
Well, I guess when I first started doing YouTube, I would post in woodworking or our something I made. Actually, our DIY is a great one. That subreddit is huge, but you have to make a Imgur photo, kind of photo list, you know, like a kind of like an Instructable on Imgur first, and then throw that link into Reddit DIY. That's their moderators they kicked me off a few times because I was just posting videos and I was like, oh, this is cool. But no, they're like, no, you have to write kind of like a step-by-step article. And but once I did that, boom, you know, just your video blows up. And yeah, that one's a great one. But if you don't want to take that time to write out like a description for each like step, then you can just post in or something I made. That one's big, but it's not nearly as big as DIY or woodworking.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we're hoping that because the maker community subreddit is so broad that those that don't want to take the time to write an article or go through hoops can just put their stuff in there and hopefully stay for the conversation.
Well, I've been using the new one lately as my kind of like my YouTube feed instead, because instead of going to my YouTube and like clicking through my subscriptions, like I'm not really feeling that guy today or whatever, I'll just jump over to the Reddit, you know, and it's like, oh man, look at these are awesome. I don't know who this guy is. I think that's exactly what you wanted to do.
It really
you know, with
is.
Ryan and stuff. So it's perfect.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. That's where, you know, because it's social and because the community controls how things float to the top, not directly controls, but gives signals to the platform to make things more visible.
Yeah, one of the things I think we really want to do with this subreddit is to do more shout outs and get other people more visibility. And hey, I just saw this, it's amazing, come check it out. So it's really not about like feeding what you're doing, but what also you're watching really is a big thing for I think our subreddit is the shout out function.
Right. And we're all about helping the maker community. I mean, we all subscribe, you know, Jimmy, Ryan, Eloy, and myself, Matt, we all subscribe to the rising tide floats all boats. Like we want to improve everyone as they go. And if we can create a space where all the cool stuff floats to the top, and we can create a space where we can have awesome conversation and put value in and take value out, I think we're really onto something here in the community.
I got a question real quick.
Yeah, go Russ.
On you, when you're saying people can join, is it right now like open to the public, but can you also set settings so later on down the road where you like start like on YouTube or Facebook or whatever on a page where you actually have to ask to join, and then later on can come in after you've looked at them? Is that, I haven't got into that aspect yet. Is that kind of like that? Is it on Reddit or just everybody bails in?
I'll give a crack at that, and maybe Howie or Jimmy, you can steer me in the right direction if I don't nail it. You subscribe to the subreddit. So there's, when you subscribe to a subreddit, you've joined it, you know, and subreddits you're subscribed to will intermix the articles in your main feed. So if you just click the main logo and just go reddit.com with nothing else on the URL, then you're seeing a collection of posts from everything you've subscribed to. Maker community being one of the things you've subscribed to. Everyone, I think, gets our funny And, you know, there's a couple default subreddits where when you first join, you have to be subscribed to some. So the platform says, all right, these 20 you're subscribed to. And so as a new user, you'll get those standard set of subreddits. But if you go over to us manually the first time and click that red subscribe button, boom, you're in, you've joined. And then this will be one of the content feeds on your main channel.
But my point is though, anybody can join. It takes a moderator, so I'm Mr. I don't like anybody, and I join the maker community. There's nothing stopping me, and the only way that I'm going to be stopped is once I get in there and start making some bad posts that one of the moderators said, hey, this is not what we want. You're not a good guy. You're out of here.
Jimmy will take you out.
There's an automatic feed where if you have less than like 30 karma, it'll boot you out of our thing anyways. It won't let you post in there. So if you carry a bad reputation and your karma is below the average, you're going to get boot. You won't even be able to post.
Okay, see, that's what I was looking for. If there was some kind of way of getting the dirty, rotten scumbags from getting in.
I think the combination of settings and moderators. So it's human and algorithm.
Because when you create a new page in Facebook, for instance, it's your own page, and you can actually set it to what everybody has to ask to join, and then you can look them over and let them come in. But I see that that's basically not the way it is in Reddit.
Yeah, in the moderator side, there is the capability of keeping it private where you could send invitations and draw people in that way. I think the way we have it set up is we still want to get more cross traffic than just our maker community from YouTube coming and check us out. We want some people from Reddit and the bigger, larger world to see some of the stuff and come in and kind of match up with our rules and get along with the way we post like the YouTube videos more than the articles that Howie was talking about.
Okay, so how do you, just to interject a little bit here, how do you gain your karma points? You know, like you said, there's that 30.
On the left side of the screen, there's two little arrows that are either up or down. And if you click up, you just gave a karma point to whoever posted that. And when you post a thing, you'll have your little line there, and the arrows will be there for you. And then, like, if Matt or myself find your article and we like what you did, if we hit that little up vote, that'll give you some karma. So you just start building up from those individual up votes.
And you can also gain karma by commenting and writing to, like, interacting with people. You gain like other kind of karma, I think.
Yeah.
But if you just got started and you don't have any karma and you're not allowed to post, how do you get karma?
It's negative karma that forbids you to post, I believe. Isn't that right, Jimmy? So as a brand new user, you can post, Donald. So, but it's if you're a brand new user and you do bad stuff and you go negative, then you're not allowed.
Okay.
So
it's kind of like getting coal. It's kind of like getting coal from Santa in your stocking.
So again,
I'm in trouble again.
So yeah, like Howie was saying though, is there's you post your thing and you could get karma that way, but as you write in comments, that'll give you possibility of getting comment karma as well. And there's two different categories of karma.
This is cool. I'm learning stuff too, folks. This is insane.
Same here.
Yeah, I kind of had a basic idea of the karma and everything. I'd been had read about it and overlooked at it, but what I was curious is about the pages, is about them being set up that if I wanted to make it private, invite or whatever, similar to YouTube. But
it sounds like the admin.
You answered my question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the page owner has control over that.
Yeah, that's good.
Since ours is wide open, so that's a lot of fun. Cool. Well, this is a new venture, and if anyone in the community has suggestions to make the subreddit better, let us know. I mean, we've spent a good amount of time trying to come up with the proper flair. And again, flair is the sort of category we've come up with for the different types of posts. And I mentioned there was project videos and project articles as two of the pieces of Flair. And we want the owners of that content to use those two pieces. So if it's your stuff, you tag it as project video or project article. If it's someone else's, we have a piece of Flair called Shout Out. And Shout Out is any type of content could be a shout out content. So it could be a shout out to a project video, or it could be a shout out to an article, or it could be a shout out to an image, or a shout out to a discussion. You know, so maybe we want to alter it where we have detailed kinds of shout outs. So we have shout out Flair for this type and shout out for that type, and then we have some sort of prefix for your own stuff for videos and your own stuff article. I don't know, but then again, we don't want too many pieces of Flair because then that would get confusing. So see, there's no right or wrong answer with this stuff. And if you have feedback, let one of the four mods know. Ryan, Jimmy, Eloy, or myself. We're out there. We all have websites. We all have YouTube channels. Easy peasy to get a hold of us.
Now, can you?
I'd like to say that if you're the first time you go to Reddit, and those that are listening tonight or listening the next time that you listen to this thing, don't get frustrated because it's nothing like I can honestly say my first visit was nothing like I visited before. So take the time to check it out. Don't get frustrated. And if you think you're going to learn it or navigate it and know how to do it in one day, you're wrong, because I've been on it numerous times. And I think the information that is tonight given out is probably some of the best that I've heard so far.
It will grow on you. Yeah.
I know my first visit, I looked at it, and I believe, Matt, you asked, what my initial thought was. And I looked at it, honestly, as it reminded me a lot of the inside of a cement mixer. You had one paddle that was very, very similar to Facebook, another one that was very similar to Instagram. I saw another couple of paddles that reminded me of regular internet forums. That's, to me, what I initially thought it was.
That's exactly what I thought. It looked like a bucket of gravel.
Yes, it can be
quickly.
very, very overwhelming because there's so many different options. So yeah, you just got to find what you like, and then like Matt was saying, just subscribe to it, and then it'll show up in your feed, and you kind of narrow it down, and it won't be as overwhelming. But
you can absolutely unsubscribe to some of those defaults, because they're all good, but if you don't want world news, unclick the world news. It's.
How do you unsubscribe? Like, I was trying to get rid of some of the other automatic posts.
On the right, if you go to a subreddit, you go into one of the subreddits, on the right-hand rail, there's a subscribe and unsubscribe button.
Okay.
I think that's right. All right. Here is a question for the Reddit experts, because I don't know the answer, and it's kind of funky, and it's kind of crazy. My understanding is if you want to do something cool for someone, beyond giving them thumbs up, beyond commenting on their stuff, you can use money, like greenback dollars, and give someone something called Reddit Gold. And then the person who gets the Reddit Gold can have the Reddit Gold, but there's, to my knowledge, nothing you can do with Reddit Gold except have it as bragging rights. Am I at all close to this concept?
I have heard of Reddit Gold. I thought you always had to earn it through points and stuff. I didn't know you could buy it, but that seems like, I don't know how you would get that money back if you wanted to like cash in your coins or something. I don't know if you can get money.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's how they sponsored the website in total. I think it's a scam, so Reddit themselves makes money. I would never vote in the Reddit Gold.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Because you'll see some posts, and then they'll within the comments someone will just drop a mind-shattering, mind-blowing comment, and then a couple lines down, I'll be like, oh, thanks for the gold. Like, so someone read this comment that was so impactful. They're like, I'm going to give that person gold. And from what I understood, you had to actually pay for it.
That's weird.
But once you get it, you can't cash it in. You can't trade it. You can't unlock more features. There's nothing you can do with it except this is bragging rights. I got some Reddit gold.
That's ridiculous.
Got it. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I guess if you could access that money, that kind of opens up doors to all kinds of things that might not be
launder, and there's some nefarious things. But
I don't know. Reddit gold. I don't know. I have to look into that.
I'd like to have been at the boardroom when they pitched that concept, and they're like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's make that happen." It sounds so ridiculous. It's kind of like the boardroom before Starbucks took off. Yeah, let's charge $5 for a cup of coffee. And at the time, coffee was 20 cents. It was the cheapest thing you could make. And they're like, yeah, that's going to be our business model. I don't know. I
can see in the boardroom them coming up with that. My problem is the person that buys that 5 cup. What thought process comes along in here?
Oh. Breaking news. Breaking news from the chat room. Our guru, Ryan, says Reddit Gold unlocks features, though they aren't great. So maybe they modified it since I first started learning about Gold, Reddit Gold. But okay, so if you want some not great features, try and get some Reddit Gold. Oh, Ryan's telling me something else.
Yeah, I was. I typed in as you were talking, what is Reddit Gold?
Okay.
I got Reddit Gold as our premium membership program. It grants you access to extra features to improve your Reddit experience. It also makes you really quite dapper.
Dapper.
So that's straight from typing in Reddit Gold into Google.
If you put your BS to English translator on, it's like, give the platform money, we'll take your money, and then you can pretend to have something of value.
Yeah, here's some fake garbage.
Says
anything.
Here's a big one.
Anything that says it's going to make me more dapper is something I need a refund on.
Well, jeez.
If they're going to make
I've
me more
always
dapper,
found myself to be plenty dapper.
Yeah, it's the beard.
if they're going to make us dapper, are they going to give us our hair back too?
You can have some of Russ's beard.
I think that's a Reddit Platinum. You need that.
The boardroom's working on that one now.
Oh.
Someone stick a camera in that boardroom.
That's the Reddit Hair Club for men.
Oh my
So
god.
one of the other features that I really like on Reddit is if you go to, I use Google Chrome, and you could open up an extension that'll also show you the feeds. But the people who load images, it'll blow it up to near full size so you can see stuff as you scroll through. So when you start actually modifying and getting your front page to what you like, and there's a lot of images on there, you click a button and all those images blow up really big. That way you don't have to click on them and do extra work for it. And then it has a never-ending scroll page too, so you can just go from page 1 to page 50 all in one go without even clicking another button.
Jimmy, I noticed I was using different Reddit apps on the mobile.
Yeah.
And that was one of the features, is instead of clicking into each image, it would just boom, it would just show you the image. I thought you could only get that through the apps.
No, it's on your desktop too. It once you get that up and running, it's amazing. It changes Reddit quite a lot.
Nice. Didn't know
Yeah, there's
that.
numerous settings that you can explore in there that even beyond that, but it's one of those things you just have to take time to sit down and figure out, all the bells and whistles of the Reddit site.
All right. So let's about the bells and whistles. Okay. So if the mods were good, if the admin was good, they'll put posting guidelines either in the sidebar or the link to the posting guidelines. And that's what we did with Maker Community. We have a big purple link that says posting guidelines. and then it'll load a page and it'll tell you what's acceptable and what's not, and how to behave, and you know, no not safe for work content. So, you know, if you're going to get in trouble because your boss looks at the image, that's not good. At least for our subreddit. There are some subreddits where that's all there is. Not the maker community. No selling. You know, be nice. You know, criticism is fine. You know, it's just the general don't be a jerk. And if you want to post your own stuff, we have a way to tag it. If you want to post stuff for other people, we have a way to tag that. Maker related, reclaimed, upcycled, repurposed, all good. Vlogs, you know, tips, contest announcements, you know, again, broad. This is a broad place. You probably won't get your hand slapped like many of those other areas on Reddit. So
yeah, Ryan from the chat's also saying that I think more than likely from our subreddit, we're going to be running some kind of contest of some sort somewhere in the near future. So we'll be running something like that. That would be quite a lot of fun as soon as we iron out the details.
Yeah, baby. Oh, so cool. I don't know. I think it's a fun place. I just can't wait for something to blow up. And I've been going around, at least as a content creator. Let me throw out a concept. And while I'm talking, in the back of your mind, think, is this going to make something blow up, or is that going to make something blow up? Because on YouTube, as a maker, if you build something ambiguous, something a lot of people want to know how to make, like I did a shadow box. I put something really cool in the shadow box, but it was a shadow box nevertheless, and it was general enough where anyone that wanted to know how to build a shadow box started to come to my channel, and that is exploding because it's broad. You know, I kind of thought they were going to come to see the cool little thing I put in it because that's my channel. I do the geeky stuff, you know, the sci-fi, the video games, the nerdy stuff. I love that niche stuff. But that did very well. And but this is Reddit, so maybe the opposite's true on Reddit. Maybe if you do something so niche, maybe that's a good thing. And again, maybe nobody knows, but I
my next video, a Mario Kart meat mount.
You know, I tell you what, Wes did that cement thwomp, that little spiky character that falls from the ceiling on the Mario games. It was amazing, and that's niche. People aren't coming to the maker community to know how to make a cement thwomp from a video game, but that's super niche. I would think that would blow up. But then again, you know, you have these other videos where how to use a planer, super broad, people want it. And so I don't know. I don't know if the answer to lots and lots of eyeballs and lots of views is niche, or if it's broad. And I don't think anyone can really answer that. If you have the answer, let me know. First of all, if you have the answer, you're probably really rich. Because you know something that probably not many other people know. But
and they ain't telling.
No, they are not.
Hey, Matthew, I got a real quick idea. Can I screen share?
Go for it. Do you need something from me?
Nope. Just going to screen share. Can tell me when you can see my page?
I can see it.
All right. This is Reddit. Some of those who are watching may have never been here before. But this is my main page. All I do, this is when I open up. This is what I see.
Go to our,
and you
go to our.
Yeah, and then I'm going to say, if you look over here, right here, you'll see in the top right-hand corner of the page, you'll see search. And all you have to do is type in MAKER, community. Hope I spell it right.
That's it.
And then hit enter. And this is what you're going to come up with. And all these down through here, you got go through, but if you'll notice on mine, I got the subreddit maker community. And so I can just click on
Yeah,
that.
these are search results. Yeah, go right in the maker community. There we go.
Yeah, and then I can come over to the maker community.
Yep. Look on the right-hand rail. We have the little blurb welcoming you, and then the posting guidelines. See that big dark link, posting guidelines? That's
Yep. This is all over here on the right.
Yep. And then the flare. The flare is what we might need help with. Oh, well, you know, again, we'll take suggestions on anything, but
this is what it will look like when you first go in. And if I go back to the main page, everybody can see. I mean, it really, the first few times I've ever visited, it looked like a jumbled up mess.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have mine set up, trust me, to where all the other stuff is coming in. So.
Well, we're trying to make a nice little spot here on the internet. And for those in the chat room, I've been trying to keep an eye on the chat. It's super hard as the host, but go over to the maker community, and I would suggest doing this. Put a little blurb about yourself and then tag the flare as introduction. Every time I see an introduction, I'm like, I am on it. And I like to go and I like to talk to the person. And if they have a YouTube channel I haven't subscribed to, I've subscribed to a lot of YouTube channels, but there's been a few that I haven't been subscribed to. So go over to the subreddit, put a little post, introduce yourself, and join the conversation. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Cool. All right, we're approaching the top of the hour. Any final thoughts from the community? How about we go around and give a final thought on Reddit if you have one. If not, again, say who you are and where we can find you before we wrap. Go ahead, Chet.
All right. Once again, I'm Chet, just in case you missed it earlier. My channel on YouTube, I have Inspired Woodworks. You can find me on Instagram. I also have a Facebook page for Inspired Woodworks. I'm not really active there. Instagram seems to really be my thing. I'm also now on Reddit, and I really hope to get a lot better over there, because like I said, it really does seem like it's an interesting place to be. That's all I got.
Come on over, join the conversation. Donald, last words, and where can we find you again?
I'm Donald Matthews. My YouTube channel is Donald Vlogifies Woodshop, and my website's redneckknowhow.com. It looks interesting. Now that I know a little bit more about it and how it works, I'm going to be checking out the maker community subreddit in the next day or so and probably posting it in there a little bit.
Awesome. Yep, please do. Mitch?
All right, guys. Yeah, I'm Mitch. MitchMakes.com will take you to my YouTube page. From there, you can find links. To me, Reddit's a good way to find other YouTube makers. It keeps you out of that normal YouTube feed. It gives you a different look at kind of the social networking part of it. And I've actually found a couple channels that I knew about, but I never really checked out until the whole Reddit thing.
That's great. It's about the community, literally in the name. I love it. Russ. Go ahead, Russ.
Oh, I'm sorry. The way you said it, I didn't actually hear you. I was going like, did he say my name?
That's cool. No, it's all good. Where can we find
Anyway,
you? Wake up.
I'm Russ Clarity, and glad to be here tonight. You can check me out on simplywoodencreations.com. All my social media sites are up there. It's an awesome website, by the way. So, and if you have any doubts about that, just type Simply Wooden Creations into Google, and you will see where I am at on the internet. And as far as Reddit, I would suggest you go check it out. It's something that at first a lot of people, and I think a whole lot of people, including me, didn't think it was going to be that great, but I think it's kind of like growing and becoming its own for the YouTube maker / woodworking community. I think a lot of people are going to start jumping on board and try try to grab a hold of the harness and or the reins and ride with it.
Okay, why not? It's free. Take advantage. Awesome. All right, Jimmy.
Yeah, again, my name is James Jacob. I run Shogun Jimmy on YouTube. And the way that I'm kind of liking the Reddit thing is I could also bring up old videos from 6 or so months ago where someone did something amazing back then. I could bring it back to the new feed and bring life into something that was amazing 6 months ago. So that's going to be one of my strategies, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. And before I sign off, Mark Lindsay in the chat room mentioned a downfall of Reddit, and that is if something really blows up and you get a lot of traffic, those that were really jazzed about the awesome thing are going to expect more of that from you, so you might get hounded. So it's like the success that could come from Reddit could be a detriment in that respect. So you might get too much attention, mass acceptance. Who knows? That's, like I said, that's the ultimate goal. And if it happens, wonderful. And if you know how to make that happen, all right. I'm Matt Haas from Awesome Wood Things, and it's been a blast here taking over the Summer's Woodworking Show. This is the last show of the year, so we'll sign off. Everyone have a wonderful holiday. Russ, your background looks fantastic. Absolutely love it. Everyone be safe. Don't do anything Jimmy wouldn't do. All right, signing off. Take care.